Oh, yeah. This is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Katrina the Criminal.
Oh.
I haven't done that one.
No.
Yeah,
I have not been a criminal before.
We are finally here to talk about the latest and greatest of the horror genre, and that is Zach Cregger's Weapons. Almost forgot what we were doing. Almost forgot the name. All right. So Weapons stars Julia Garner, Josh Brolin, and Alden in Ehrenreich. Something like that. And like I said, directed and written by Zach Cregger. And the synopsis. When all but one child from the same class mysteriously vanishes on the same night at exactly the same time, the community is left questioning who or what is behind their disappearance. Oh, yeah. If you've seen the trailer, then that's pretty much what you get from the trailer.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what you get from the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
So that's the best part of this movie is there is not really much in the trailer. Well, one of the best parts. The trailer doesn't really give much away.
Yeah.
So if you are like us and you hate when trailers do that, well, this movie does not.
Yep.
So
this is trailer approved.
Trailer approved
by Scare Talk.
Yeah, good trailer. This movie got a lot of hype as it was coming closer and closer to being released. And yeah, so we're going to talk about it in a second. But first, we're going to stay away from spoilers because you got to go to Patreon for that. Patreon.com/ScareTalk is where you get all the extra content, including spoiler talk for all of our episodes. You get early access and exclusive content that you won't get anywhere else. And shout outs. Speaking of, Wes, thank you for joining the shout out tier. And Caitlin, of course, thank you for continuing to support Scare Talk.
Yes.
If you are on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel so you get all the updates from Scare Talk and hit the bell so that you get notified when a new episode drops. And yeah, comment down below with your thoughts on Weapons, and we'll be talking to you guys there.
Yes, we will.
All right. So Weapons.
Yeah.
What'd you want to say? You were wanting to say something.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly because you continued to talk. Okay. But one thing that I was saying I appreciate that I didn't really get into like the hype of like it being hyped up and everything, because I think going into it, even though I was really excited for it, going into it so blind is part of what made it so good. And just like you were saying with the trailer didn't give it away, I didn't like pay attention to what people were saying. I didn't want to be influenced one way or another. And so I was just like, I'm going to go into it. No clue really what I'm expecting, you know? Right. And it definitely surpassed my expectations.
Okay.
It was very good.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Zach Cregger, the writer and director, he also wrote and directed Barbarian from a few years ago, and that was a big hit for horror. And it was also the trailer was like the first part of the movie, and then the rest was like just okay, like, I don't know where we're going now.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the same thing here, and I like that style. I really like that style, and it's fresh. It's nice to go into a movie and be like, okay, well, now we don't know what's going to happen because that was the trailer.
Yeah, because that's all we already knew. And the thing that I feel like is similar, that is like maybe a trend of Zach what? Cregger. Is like Barbarian was scary, but also had like a great dose of humor mixed in, but not like just not like a comedy,
Yeah.
you know? It was just like there was humor mixed in that made it a little bit like fun and lighthearted in times that it was needed.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this movie did the same thing.
Yeah.
Like there were little parts that it was just like, okay, there's my comedic relief.
Yeah.
Helps you kind of get ready for the next.
Yeah. It definitely has some humor in there. It's not forced at all. It's not like a gag or a joke or anything like that. It's just more like a natural,
yeah.
Kind of like something that someone would actually do.
Yeah.
In situations like this that I think anybody can relate to if you were in that position. You might say something like this, or you might do something like this. And so I think that's why it was so, it worked so well.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like a comedy. But of course the scares are there as well.
Mhm.
So it is a horror film. It does have a similar flow to Barbarian, where I mean, I think this one's even more jarring than Barbarian was, because you get these different points of view from different characters.
That's what I loved.
Yeah.
Like,
so the way the story unfolds is like in chapters, and each chapter is a different character. And what they do is, right when the chapter, it's almost like reading a book. Right when that chapter is about to end, something crazy happens, and then it goes to someone else.
And then it's someone else's story, and you're like,
and
wait, what is happening?
Yeah. Then that happened in Barbarian, right when they, go into that hallway, and then they're like, and then boom. Gonna go to Justin Long driving around.
Yeah. So the thing is like each chapter is like their point of view.
Yeah.
And so some of it you're like getting the story again, but from their point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're getting different details within the story, and you're just seeing it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, maybe that's kind of like what it was trying to tell us, or whatever,
Right. You get little bits. Each character gives you a little bit more of the story.
Mm-hmm.
And the mystery, because
this
is a much like a mystery, more than Barbarian was.
Yeah,
this one can, because there's the question, like, why are these kids doing this? Where are they? And you get little pieces of why they might have done this, where they're at, what the overall like bad is here.
And trying to figure out
evil?
Who. Yes, exactly. Trying to figure out like, who do I not like, and who am I okay with? And I don't want to feel like I like this person if actually they do have something to do with this. And
yeah. And the villain, we'll say, is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Creepy. The motive is interesting. It's it's what's cool about the movie is it's like, once you get down to the figuring out what's really going on, it's not something brand new to horror. Like, it's kind of a something that's been done plenty of times, but it's the way it's done, the way it's acted, the way it's written, and the way it all unfolds to this big climax at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Is what makes this so good.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes it fresh. It makes it rewatchable.
Yeah.
So I like that. It wasn't like some out of this world crazy thing you've never seen, which sometimes can be a negative for movies. This one was pretty grounded in something that we have seen in other films, but just done in a very different way.
Yeah. And I will say that there were little parts of the motive that we'll talk about in spoilers and everything that kind of was like kind of confusing as to like, okay, why exactly,
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll talk about that when we get to spoilers.
Yeah, some of the rules that they put in place, you're wondering at the end, like, did they follow all the rules that they put in place?
Mm-hmm.
There are some questions at the end.
Mm-hmm.
but I think in spoilers we can address those and figure it out.
Yeah.
Brolin, he does great as one of the fathers of one of the missing kids.
Mm-hmm.
Julia Garner, she's kind of like this new girl who's in these different films now. She was in Wolfman earlier this year, and she, if you remember her, if you ever watched Ozark, she's one of the main characters in that.
Who is she in Ozark? Is she the daughter?
No, she's one of the like locals.
Okay, so
she's kind of
like
like
after
a white trash, like okay. I don't think she's like on drugs or anything, but she's
after like I already stopped watching.
I think so.
Like
I don't know that she's in the first episode. I can't remember
the first
because that's when you stopped.
Was it really the first episode?
Yeah, I think maybe the begin. No, because the first episode ends with him showing his son like putting the like money in the dryer and like talking to
washing
him about it. Laundering.
But wait, was that like when they were in the hotel? Because they got to the hotel in the last episode that I watched.
No, that was at their house.
Okay, so then I watched the beginning of the second episode.
Okay.
And then I was like, no. Anyway, that's not what this is about.
Yeah. So anyway, she does a good job. She is like, and this was in the trailer. She's like the one that everybody is kind of like suspicious about.
Because she's the teacher.
Yeah, she's the teacher.
The class that went missing.
Yeah, the whole class except for one student was missing.
And her.
And so everybody's kind of like thinking she has something to do with it. You get to really learn about each character. You get to learn a great deal about her, about like this cop, this druggie, this like I said, the father. You get to learn about the principal a little bit. Everybody kind of has their own story, and then you get to learn about the little boy who was left.
Yeah. And it's a small town.
Yeah.
But not such a small town that like that everybody knows everything. Yeah. But it's a small enough town that people are watching each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're able to actually like kind of keep tabs on people and stuff. Mm-hmm. So and everybody is like trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's got everything. As far as negatives, I mean, I would say that there were certain stories that dragged a little bit, like the cop story. I think that kind of dragged a little bit, like especially when you get so heightened from something and then you go into his story and it's like a little bit of a downer because it's like you got so hyped for something and then now we're gonna go to him and I don't really care about him that much.
I think that's the thing is I think that the cop, that was probably the one that they had the hardest time building relation to, like where you actually like feel for the character, you actually care about them, you like them in some ways. He wasn't a super likable character. They never really added that likability to him. I attempted to and attempted to make him a little bit relatable, but he wasn't relatable enough. And he wasn't likable enough.
A little long, like one of the longest.
He had multiple levels to his story because he had storyline with two different perspectives,
like overlapping.
And so there was, the 1, 2, 3, 4 character perspectives. And he was part of 3 of those 4.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I feel like he was a little overdone and he was probably the least likable character. And so I think I could see how that could be a negative. In
right. And that's me trying to find
a negative.
Because I mean, if we weren't doing a podcast and I was just gonna tell somebody if it was good and if they should see it, I'd be like, it's a fun one, it's good, go see it while it's
Yeah. I wouldn't really have a reason not to see it.
Right. And I wouldn't be like, oh, the third story's kind of slow. Like I wouldn't, definitely wouldn't even go into that. Wouldn't even think about it. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, I'm sure it's still in theaters. I think it's doing very well. So I'm sure Zach Cregger's he's one of the bigger names in horror right now, even though he only has 2 films.
Yeah.
They've both been big hits. So it'll probably be in theaters for a little while longer. So if you're watching this and you're still in August or September, you might be able to catch it still in theaters. So
yeah,
go check your local theater.
And if you don't catch it in theater, it's still going to be good streaming.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of those movies that it doesn't have to be in theater to be good.
Yeah, there's a few things toward the end. There's like a crazy scene at the end that was really cool in theaters.
Yeah.
But I would say most of the movie is more like character driven, and there aren't like huge set pieces or explosions or things that
not super action filled or
yeah. So
go see it for sure.
Let's look at those critics.
Should we rate ours and then look at the critics, or do we want to look at the critics first?
Well, we usually look at the critics first.
I couldn't remember. I've been so off and on the podcast, and so I'm forgetting our rules.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will tell you what the critics say then.
Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes. This is a super fresh tomato.
Super fresh.
Yeah.
Right off the vine.
Yes. It's actually probably still on the vine. It's so fresh.
Wow.
It's a 94%.
Dang.
94.
And it is. It wasn't was it last week or the week before when it came out?
I think it was the week before last. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it has 316
been out for
critic reviews.
A couple weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
So, and then the popcorn meter, you got hot, fresh popcorn.
Oh, dang. Right off the.
Yeah. So it's got an 86% popcorn meter.
All right.
So very good. Very good.
This is like Sinners numbers.
Yeah. Well, and when our son came out of the theater, that was one of the first things he said is, oh my gosh, this is right up there with Sinners.
Yeah.
And Sinners was his top movie of the year.
Yeah.
That's what he's comparing every movie to this year. And that came out early on in the year.
Yeah.
And so this is already getting up there.
And I would agree. It's up there for me with my favorites of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least like top 3.
Yeah. So then IMDb has it at a 7.9.
Okay. How many ratings?
53,894. Okay.
So 7.9. It potentially could go into the 8s, but I don't think it's going to go below like 7.6. Yeah. That's already a lot.
Yeah.
Of ratings. So
yeah.
I mean, I'm there with all of that. I'm gonna put it. Oh gosh, this is totally my kind of movie. It's not like a slasher like I typically like for horror, but it is a very story and character driven movie where it almost feels like it's a horror movie like second. It's a good mystery character story driven movie. And it's a horror movie and it's funny.
Yeah. And it's interesting because the first thing it says on IMDb is dark comedy.
Oh.
Which is interesting. I wouldn't consider it like the first thing comedy.
Yeah.
But then it's psychological horror.
Okay.
Supernatural horror.
Don't say that one.
I'm not going to. Mystery.
Yeah. I would say it's definitely like, because I'm a big Coen Brothers fan, and that's like their style. They don't do horror, but they do like character driven mystery dramas with a good amount of dialogue. So I'm gonna watch this one over and over. So I'm gonna give it a 94.
Okay. I was wondering how close we would be. I actually considered 94, but I decided I'm going to do a 92.
Okay.
Just because it like, I was so excited coming out of it. Throughout the week, I have been like, oh wait, what movie was that we saw? You know, like,
yeah, you have said that a couple times. What are we gonna review?
Yeah. So because there's a little bit of that, I'm gonna drop it a little bit down lower. I had been thinking 94, but I'm gonna do 92.
Okay. Cool. And I'm sure Joel, if he had seen it,
if he ever watches it,
he wasn't able to see it. And we're trying to get as many episodes in as we can.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm sure he would be right with us.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Know, at minimum, very high 80s. So, but yeah, I think he's gonna be right there, and we'll figure it out once he sees it. I'm sure we'll
talk about it in the end of the year for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, if you want to hear, go to patreon.com/scared talk. Otherwise, we will see you next time.